Hey, this is Joe Castiglione, and you're listening to Not Another Sox Podcast. Can you believe it?
Yankees suck! Yankees suck!
Buenos noches, amigos, and welcome to another episode of Not Another Sox Podcast. I am Jack Webster here with our producer, Ian Doran, as always, coming at you live from Providence, Rhode Island. Fellas, it's the trade season.
How are you feeling right now?
You know, I feel better after this series, for sure.
Okay.
It was a little rough sailing there since the start of the All-Star break, but, you know, you're feeling better now. This club is definitely looking to add. We know the direction that they're heading in. It's just a matter of, you know, how aggressive they are and who they end up at the dance with at the end of the night. Yeah.
Definitive buyers, you think?
I think at this point, yeah, we're in a playoff spot. The team has been playing well. There's only a handful of areas of need that you really need. It's not like you need a big overhaul, and you can also solve some problems long term if you're able to as well. So I think we're going to be adding. Doesn't sound like we're going to be selling too much, even though there's still some speculation about it. But you know, we know what we need, and hopefully we get it at the end of the week.
I hope so too. Did you anticipate taking 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers?
You know, I could have seen it. Yeah,
Okay.
I could, because one of those is Crochet. You
Sure.
Yeah, I know we've lost some Crochet days, but yeah, you're gonna have a good chance anytime he's on the bump. And then, you know, you only need to win one of the other two in that case, which is exactly what happened. So, would I have also been equally surprised if we only won the one start? Yeah, it would have been probably the same level expectations. You know, obviously you don't want to get swept, which very glad that we didn't.
Yep.
And it would have been amazing to sweep, but it is a good team, even if they have been, you know, struggling a little bit recently.
Yeah, as far as the teams that we played this week, the Phillies and the Dodgers, did you anticipate the Phillies being the harder matchup?
Honestly, they came in hotter.
Yeah.
So I'm not too surprised we struggled against them. A lot of those games were close too. So same thing. If we won 2 out of 3 of those, I would have been like, yippee!
Yeah,
Yeah.
jumped for joy.
Woohoo! Yeah. And I'm just glad that we didn't get swept. That last game was, you know, obviously very close too. But yeah, if you told me that we went, you know, 3-3 between the Phillies and the Dodgers, I would have been like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Like it was some combination of it, like that's kind of, you know, what you hope for even when
Right.
you're facing good teams.
And coming out of the All-Star break, going 4-5, honestly, better than I thought we were going to do. I thought we were going to like lose 7 straight.
Yeah.
I mean, even though that was broken up pretty quickly, the Cubs series, we're starting pretty close to 500 leaving the All-Star break. And I think these teams were probably the harder matchups we're going to see as we head towards October.
Yeah, no, I remember seeing a lot of things right after the 10-game win streak and heading into the All-Star break saying, oh, the Red Sox have the hardest schedule. And that was true in terms of strength of schedule. But now that we face these 3 teams, now we're kind of more like normal schedule, like
Right.
moving forward. You have the Twins this week. You have the Astros at the end of the week too, which aren't easy. You still have some, you know, good clubs that you're facing, but and then we still have some of the hopefully series that you need to win against bad teams, which this team hasn't always done. But you know, it's not like it's not doable at the end of the day either.
Name 29 bad teams that have beaten us.
Oh man.
Yeah, can you do it?
Yeah, the Yankees got one of those wins.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
pretty bad.
Yeah, wow, they are tail spinning, aren't they?
Yeah, good.
Good.
Yeah.
They got McMahon though this week. We'll see what happens
Oh,
there.
they got a big man and Ahmed Rosario.
Yeah.
I'm shaking in my fucking boots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you not afraid of Ahmed Rosario, quadruple A boy
Yeah,
guy that
I
does
totally would be if it was 2017. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh wait. It's not.
It's not. Yeah.
Oh,
Nah, man.
man.
Yeah, hard-hitting analysis.
Wow. We should go pro.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're giving us the littlest amount of money that they can for this. So thank you, Believe Network. Yeah.
Thank you, the Believe Network,
you,
for having
yeah.
us. Like, comment, subscribe.
And thank you to Stamps.com.
Stamps.com. I would laugh so hard if that was our mid-show ad.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Do
Yeah.
you want to give me 2 predictions as to what you think our mid-show ad is going to be? And reminder, I do not control the ads that end up in our show.
We have the control of not doing gambling ads.
Yes.
And like a few other things, I think. So
Yeah.
yeah.
We don't do the meth ads.
Yeah, no,
Uh-huh.
I insist on it, but they keep saying no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no meth ads. But
If I had to guess for like some like blood pressure medication, like sometimes they'll just throw like on our show like just for like background noise while I'm trying to sleep, and some of the ads that like I wake up to and I'm like, this is so random.
yeah. Yeah. Or O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Auto parts.
And then we both come.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
At the same time?
At the same time, yeah.
Why don't we lead right into the fit check, pal? What are you
Oh yeah,
wearing
yeah.
tonight?
You know what? I didn't really plan this out too much, but I'm kind of glad because I'm wearing a Mariners jersey, and Ichiro got inducted into the Hall of Fame today officially. Nobody else. So yeah, I got the Ken Griffey Jr. and like these teal jerseys, like they just need to do them all the time because they're so icy. And it's kind of hard to see probably, but like it's still got like the little like shininess in the letters and everything. And then I got a Mariners hat too, just to match. Got this at the MLB store in New York. So yeah, that's the fit check today.
The Ken Griffey Mariners jersey is one of the all-time classics.
Yeah, no, you can't go wrong with it.
Yeah. I think of all the other big players that got their jersey and turned him into all-time classics, but I feel like the Ken Griffey is like your top-tier classic jersey.
No, you can't go wrong. Just like outside barbecue or like at a music festival, just wearing it and you feel good. And
Or
yeah, you
inside
look good.
barbecue.
Yeah, inside barbecue. Like you could wear this anytime, anywhere. Formal interview,
Yep.
wedding,
Yeah.
funeral.
Yes, because
Yeah.
it's teal, not red, so you can wear it to a funeral.
Yeah, no. Honestly, at my funeral, just wear some baseball jerseys and crush some beers. So,
Dude, I'm going to have a fucking blast at your funeral.
please, any day now.
You know, at this point, I just don't think you're going to die.
Yeah, no. God is trying his best.
But you're too quick. Gotta
Yeah.
be quicker than that. It was a big week of baseball. We'll talk about some of the events of this week, and we'll jump into our Phillies and Dodgers series. First and foremost, like, we knew he'd be back, but Bregman is fucking back.
Yeah, no, it makes such a big difference just looking at the lineup, seeing him batting second or third most days, and knowing that you're having a reliable glove there. And even like the first little bit, I know he had that pinch hit home run, but like he wasn't able to run fully and, you know, kind of taking it easy, being safe about it, being smart about it, obviously. But now, like, over this last like series now, you can tell he's back at like 100%, and it, you know, it just impacts the club so much. And, and you know what I was thinking today?
What?
Yeah, I know, very rare.
Please.
Obviously, I want to keep him in Boston, but I'm still waiting. I'm still okay with it, you know, until let's see when he opts out or not. Since like
Okay.
I think it is possible that he opts back in, so I think one way or another, I hope they get it done. He seems perfect for Boston, but I'm okay with it being at the end of the year if that does happen. I don't want him to reach free agency because then other teams can talk to him. But I want, but like there is that like gap where like you have that exclusive window, and I want it done before that.
Yeah, like the next 60 days. That is your window.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say give him like maybe 30. I wouldn't even wait 30, but give him a few weeks, up to 30 days, and see what you got.
I know he's gonna be busy up until late October. So
Why? What's he doing?
Yeah, playing baseball.
Oh,
yeah.
I continue to laugh at the idea that he has to do his rehab in Boston, which he should be doing, because you can't have like all-star MVP, super duper trooper third baseman like down in Worcester just murdering 19-year-old pitchers. Like, I always laugh at that thought. Like, you just can't put Bregman on a rehab assignment in AAA because he's too good.
Well, you do see it every once in a while. Like,
Right.
more of a guy's out for a longer period of time than Bregman was. So, like, obviously you saw Massa down there. And, like,
Trevor Story,
yeah,
too.
Trevor
Yep.
Story, yeah, exactly. Like, he had to play some games down there and everything. And even, like, David Ortiz and Manny Ramirez played in Pawtucket.
Oh my
so,
God, it's
yeah,
so
funny. Nobody is above it at the end of
What
the
do
day.
you What do
yeah.
you mean Pawtucket? It's Worcester.
Shut up.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We also had some injuries this week. One hilarious and one not so hilarious. The hilarious one being Aaron Judge flexored his strain, or I don't know.
Yeah, like, I don't know how they kept him in the game after they knew it was going on, and, like, he was, like, making, like, throws in the ninth, just like, yeah. And, you know, I'm not pro-injury, but it does sink the Yankees' chances so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're...
Significantly.
I know. You were wondering if it was going to be the full Tommy John or not or anything. And I know they're hopeful that it's going to be just the minimum amount of time, which you hear all the time. And then, you know, he's out for a month or
Right.
like plus. So I think, you know, not only that, it's probably going to be something that he's dealing with the rest of the year too. So they're going to have to put Stanton in the outfield now. And
Right.
while like Judge comes back and DHs a little bit. So
Stanton in the outfield in his wheelchair. like-
yeah, pretty much. You know, don't worry, Jason Dominguez is out there too. So
Who?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love laughing at the Yankees' misfortune. As a hater, what do you think their realistic chances of winning games are now that 60% of their hitting is on the IL?
I mean, they're already struggling before.
Right.
Like they were already doing bad with Jesus on their team.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And now they lost Jesus. And I don't know how they're going to float. I mean, they have a tough schedule too. I don't see them doing anything insane at the deadline either. So
Yeah.
they could be in trouble. And I think, you know, now that Cal Raleig's hit 41, 42 home runs or whatever, like I think he probably ends up winning MVP. So yeah, you're going to have the narrative of Yankees fans just being so obnoxious, being like, oh, well, you know, if Judge and Cole were blah, 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 like, it would have been all year, so, you know, we'll get them
Yeah,
next
just
year.
like last year with Judge and Cole and Soto, too.
And Soto, yeah.
He's, I wouldn't say he's fallen off entirely, but definitely some adjustments over in
I think
Queens.
he's been pretty good recently, so he's back
starting
on
to
his
catch back up.
Yeah, I think he's
Back
back
on
on
his
his
bullshit.
bullshit. Yeah.
I am happy to hear that. More so because Yankees fans get so fucking turnt when they find out that the guy they could not pay enough money on more years to stay in their shit ass part of town did not stay in their shit ass part of town.
I know.
Grow up.
And now they're going to hate him and be salty forever.
And that's why I love him.
Yep, but I am a little glad it's not full Tommy John for Judge. It's bad. It
Yeah.
would have been bad for the sport if he's out essentially like 2 years. So, whatever. Like,
Yeah, like the way that players are the face of their franchise, especially right now. Ohtani is probably the face of the National League, and Judge is the face of the American League, and they kind of interchange between who's the face of MLB.
it's Ohtani.
It is definitely Ohtani.
Not even close.
Oh, you think so? Name one record that Ohtani has broken this year and last year and the year before that.
Oh man, like all of them.
Yo,
yeah.
fuck. Did he really?
Yeah, I don't know a single record that Aaron Judge is actually broken.
Oh, what about that home run record?
Oh, the one oh yeah, the one that wasn't the actual record of
Yeah.
the most home runs
Oh,
in
and
the
the one
season.
that he said that's not the actual record of home
yeah,
runs
yeah,
in a season.
that one, yeah.
Yeah. The other side of the injury coin.
Would also be very funny if Cal hit like 64 this year.
Oh my God.
That would be the narrative would be hilarious.
Call Vegas.
Yeah.
Call Vegas. Put it down.
Right, call Roger Maris Jr. He's getting back on that cycle of everybody trying to beat his dad's record.
Yeah. I mean, same.
Yeah.
The other side of the injury coin we saw this week was Marcelo Meyer.
Yeah, not good.
Don't worry, we have a backup second baseman, kind of. Actually, as it turns out, we have like 20 backup second basemen, kind of.
That sound. I'm sure one of them must be good.
Are you sitting down?
You're looking at me. Yeah.
They're all somewhere between mediocre and barely above average.
That doesn't seem ideal.
It doesn't. And the one who's like barely above average, that bat has been cold for 3 months.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're actually putting someone who like has played a little second base, but is like not a good defensive second baseman, but has a decent bat, but has had a quiet bat for the last few days at second base. How do you feel about Meyer's injury? Do you feel like he's out for the 10, the 15? What do we do?
It's kind of hard to say how long he's out for, and I'm not sure they actually know. So I think you gotta kind of have to play it like, you can't depend on him for the rest of the year. And anything that you do get, I'm sure will be great, especially, by the time he probably comes back, it'll be September. Rosters will expand anyway.
Right.
So it's very unfortunate. Obviously, he's dealt with a lot of different injuries over the course of pretty much every season.
Yep.
And, as good as he is and all the potential that you see, like, it is starting to glare. Like, I mean, he could be, the next, like Carlos Correa out there, or he could be like the next Royce Lewis, where he's great when he's playing, but, how often is he going to play? So, obviously not giving up on him by any means because of the injuries, and even with the maybe not like greatest start in the whole world, but, when it happens every year like this, it starts to become, an actual concern.
Controversial take, I know, but part of me was wondering if he starts to become a potential trade candidate, even though he's young and he's a rookie and his ceiling and talent are through the roof. Like the injury history, you said it yourself, he's had an injury every year. Obviously, you're not just dealing Marcelo Meyer, but if a trade comes along where you are acquiring MLB talent and they say, we need Meyer, like, you would do that for a guy like Joe Ryan, for example.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it because because of the injury history, though. You would have to do it because you're getting an absolute stud back.
Yeah.
Even Joe Ryan, I would be like, ooh, maybe if it's like more for one or whatever. But yeah, I mean, obviously it is a concern, but I think he showed enough where they still want him to be a part of the long-term future here. There's obviously positions where he can play anywhere on the infield just about.
Yeah.
So I think it's a matter of, more where and when than if. So I hope they keep him. I wouldn't want to sell low just because he is hurt or anything, but he's a guy that, still believe in, and who knows how bad it is there isn't. It could be like the minimum 15 days and then he's back and he's fine and we forget all about it. So
or that
we'll see.
The one time that DJ LeMahieu stubbed his big toe so bad and then he was on the IL for 10 days.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what happened.
No, that's pretty much what happened. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, before we jump into our Phillies series, we got a little activity in chat from our fans, people jumping in all the time. We have Christy and Zach with us saying hi as always. Good to hear from you guys. My eyesight is so bad. I tried making this font bigger and I still can't see shit. We have Zach saying, I did buy his jersey, so trading him would track.
Yeah, well, if you bought it online, you do have that like 90-day window of like being able to like trade it back in, since I know a lot of people had to do that with their Devers jerseys.
Why? What happened?
Yeah. So I guess you could do that, but I feel like Meyer might also change his number one day. Like 39 just does not fit him. Like he needs like one of the single digits. He needs like number 5 or number 7 or some shit. So Zach, you'll have the like OG like one, like the Jacoby Ellsbury 46 or like my James Wood number 50. So like that's gonna be an OG one day.
What was one of the more unique shocks to me was the absolute numbers riz that Red Sox fans have. They're like, we got to put Roman in 19. That's the best fitting number that's available.
And he did.
Meyer can't wear 39. I mean, he can. It's well enough, but we can find something better. I guess I didn't realize how much numbers fit the player.
Yeah, no, it's like you want a good jersey of it, so it does make a difference at the end of the day. I don't even love 35 for Crochet. I feel like he should be like 25 or something. Like a nicer, rounder number.
Yeah, like 0.
Yeah. That double zero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
000.
Yep.
Are
No, that's all. You
That's
could
all
do,
the
yeah.
zeros? Okay.
Yeah.
The Philly series. It kind of went almost exactly how I expected it to go. Red Sox find a new and unique way to lose it in extras, and then they somehow fight back one of those 3 games, and one of them you just don't quite know how we got cut up by Christopher Sanchez.
Yeah. Well, let's start at that first game on
Mhm.
Monday, since obviously coming into it, it was the atomic bomb versus coughing baby meme with
Yeah.
Zach Wheeler versus Walker Buehler, and that game did not go, as you might have expected. Like, it was an actual full-on pitchers duel.
Mhm.
You could argue Walker even pitched better than Wheeler in that game. He went deeper.
I think you could more than argue. I think you could state as matter of fact that Walker Buehler outpitched Zach Wheeler in that
so
game.
anything can happen on any given night, and it feels like you had obviously great chances to win that game. You got to give it to Wheeler at the end of the day too, but to lose the way that we did, that was one of the dumbest games I've ever watched in my entire life.
I was asking you earlier, like, what's stopping any player from faking a swing and hitting a catcher's glove to get a walk-off catcher's interference?
I feel like if you did it more than once or twice on purpose, then you're just going to get more of a fastball in the ribs. But there are guys where it happens to them more often than not. Like Jacoby Ellsbury, I think, is the all-time record in like catcher's interferences.
Okay.
And it doesn't count towards your on base, so it's actually not even super advantageous for you, since like it doesn't really count towards.
It's more like an error, right?
Yeah, it is technically an error at the end of the day.
Sure.
And that was the only second game ever to end on catcher's interference, and the first one to end in that way. So yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that. That's the only time a walk-off catcher's interference has ever taken place.
The other one was like in the 70s. And it was more of like what you saw on Tuesday in that first inning with the catcher's interference than like the bat hitting the glove. And honestly, that game on Monday, you were going to lose it one way or another. The bases were loaded with nobody out in the bottom of the 10th. Like, they were going to find a way to get in one of those runs against Jordan Hicks. Jordan Hicks was probably just going to walk the guy anyway, so.
Yeah, he probably was. But that's the thing with catcher's interference, right? Is you only need it to work once. When the bases are loaded in the bottom of the 10th, that's when you fake a swing and you hit the catcher's glove, and boom, everyone's a winner.
Yeah, no, if you're able to do it, I guess.
Go get him,
yeah.
right. I'm going to pinch hit the one guy who's really good at catcher's interference with the bases loaded.
I'm sure in that exact situation it could work, and I don't know why teams aren't doing it all the time, Yeah.
How was it for you, I mean, through that game and through the entire series, seeing Kyle Schwarber? I teared up a little bit.
Yeah.
I miss him.
It would have worked out well. I think I can understand why they didn't at the time, because there wasn't an exact position for him. And would it have worked out great because you could have just put him at first or put him at DH? Yeah, that would have been.
What about catcher?
Yeah, well, literally, you probably could have put him at catcher anyway. So, would it have worked out great? Obviously, but that's one where I wasn't losing too much sleep over it. But it is always sucks when he does it against us specifically. Yeah,
I'm always sad to see him because I kind of feel the opposite. Like, I know it would have been a roster crunch to get him in there, but like, whenever I see him hit 50 or 60 home runs in a season, I look at him and I'm like, man, Kyle Schwarber's the one that got away. Like, imagine this team, you have, in theory, you would still have Devers, and then you had Schwarber just bonk after bonk. I would have loved to see it. Schwarber also has like a 400 something on base because people just don't want to pitch him a strike in the zone, but I am always sad to see him. I would have loved to have him in Boston.
I know. I've moved on at this point. I understand why people still talk about it, especially when it keeps happening. But like that's one where I can think of like a ton of other guys where that would have been the case. Where I think I'll be very sad if Bregman moves on, like way more than like Kyle Schwarber, like anytime. So
yeah, we need Bregman way more than we needed Schwarber. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And then our following games, we had Fitz get shelled, and we had Giolito get shelled. both of them just handled by the Phillies offense.
Yeah, and the Phillies are a good offensive team, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
So it was just all the home runs and everything. You had that other catcher's interference in the first inning, which sucked, or just was so dumb and annoying too. So and it wouldn't have mattered. Bryce Harper was probably safe anyways, and you got out of it on the next pitch, so it's not like it was really straining him too much either. It was just annoying that it happened on essentially back-to-back innings, if you think about it, from the 10th inning on Monday to the first inning on Tuesday. So that was the game right there, because we got the one run, but that was it. So Christopher Sanchez, very good. Just essentially glad that we didn't get no hit, and you move on to the next day.
Yeah, Nick Castellanos got a home run in that one too, didn't
Probably.
he? Yeah. Or was it the next day with Giolito? They were both bad.
Probably. Yeah.
But Luzardo was a guy I've had interest in, and the Red Sox just took care of that with the Romy grand slam, right, Romy?
Yeah, no, you got off to the being down 5-0, I think, at one point.
I think so.
Yeah. Got the 4 home runs given up by Giolito, just not a very good outing at all. And then Luzardo got off to that great start at the beginning of the year, and then has kind of sucked over his last 10.
He's gotten tired.
Yeah, it was catching up to him, so you're able to get to him. It came out of nowhere where you had an inning where you're starting to get some hits together, and then you had back-to-back bases loaded walks, and then you had a grand slam from Romy, and all of a sudden you have the lead.
Yeah.
you look up and you're like, holy shit, we're winning.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And then the bullpen was able to just hold on for the rest of the night. So not exactly, or no, that didn't happen.
For the most part it did, right? Because we were only up by 1, and then they tied it. I forget how. I think
JT Realmuto hit a home run.
That's
off
exactly
of
what it was.
Yeah,
which was really annoying because Chapman is good and JT Realmuto is also good, but I wish it hadn't happened.
Yeah, and then our worst nightmare of going to extra innings on the road happened.
Yeah, but we got Carlos Narvaez gave us the go-ahead home run at the exact amount of feet it takes to hit a home run out of, what is it, Citizens Bank Park?
Yeah, Citizens Bank Park. So we had, both teams scored in the 10th inning. So that it wasn't the 11th inning that he did it in. And then who ended up getting the save for us even?
I think it was you.
Oh, yeah, it probably was me. Oh, it was Bernardino because you had Alcala do the first part of the inning, and then Bernie got the last
Chapman.
guy. Yeah, they already used Chapman. They used Whitlock. They used Weissard. They used Hicks. They used Justin Wilson. So that was who was left.
Yeah.
And they got it done. And that's why you need 2 runs when you're on the road, because that one run usually ends up scoring with the ghost runner. So
they do.
Means absolutely nothing.
Yep, but I'm glad we have Bernie. I mean, he's kind of gone into the mop-up role, but capable of a lot of things. I'm glad we had a guy like him able to come in and make a fight for the save, which he did.
Yeah, no, I feel good about just about everybody in the pen right now. So I feel like that's an area where it's very rare. You don't need to add on to that at the deadline, but especially with Slayton coming back, and maybe you call up another arm from Worcester if somebody else goes down. I feel like that's one of our strengths right now. So that,
for sure.
Yeah, that's very rare, but I like it
for sure. Well, now we got to chat a bit about the somehow incredibly annoying Dodgers series. I think there were plenty of times it felt like more Dodgers fans than Red Sox fans at Fenway Park.
And I knew it was coming, especially after 2 years ago when they're just they travel well. Obviously, there's a lot of people from LA living on the East Coast already and everything. But I think what annoys me about it is it's so unorganic. When you see Red Sox or even Yankees fans or Cubs fans at another stadium, it's just because there's a lot of people that are fans of those teams. And with the Dodgers, it feels like they organize this through Facebook groups, we're gonna do a parade down the street, we're gonna all sit in this section, we're gonna try to do all this, and it just feels so stupid and so insecure at the end of the day too, where if you looked at the ticket prices all this weekend, it was like $200 to sit up in the bleachers. So like, when you kind of get like that everyman that, you know, you're going to multiple games a year, you can't shell out $200 every time. Like, obviously, you know, you're gonna see an imbalance of things, and it sucks. We should have, you know, still had more than half the fans here, but I'm glad that we at least showed it to them this series. Yeah.
Yep.
We need to figure out a way to fix that some way or another.
Dodgers fans?
Yeah, just like not getting invaded at our own home ballpark. That should never happen in Boston.
Yeah, I have an idea. Dodgers fans could shut the fuck up about it.
They could, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Dodgers fans, just shut up. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Thank you. They pay me to think.
Yeah. I don't think, and I don't get paid for it either.
Right. The Dodgers also, like, while we were playing them, I realized, especially when Crochet gave up the 2 solo home runs and then shut it down, right, is the Dodgers 1 through 5 is like the most terrifying 1 through 5 lineup in baseball.
Oh, easily. Like, you see the bottom part of the lineup, and it's not that crazy, but when you're facing a team where it's like MVP, like All-Star, MVP, like All-Star, like just to like start it off, that's never good.
No, it's not. And when you think about it, right, it goes back and forth between Betts and Ohtani, but it's usually Ohtani, Betts, Hernandez, Freeman.
Yeah, Will Smith.
Yeah. And then their 6 is always a give or take. Today it was Conforto, who hit a home run. Pages somehow has our fucking number. Like, the 1 through 5 is always definitively scary.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then they just always figure it out, and they usually have good pitching too. So, but for as good as they are, they should be better this year. I mean, what are they like? What's their record after we fucking beat them now?
Oh man, probably
it's 61-45. Like, that's not like the best in the league, you know. So
yeah,
that sucks for them.
Haha, Dodgers suck.
Yeah.
Imagine spending that much money and sucking so bad.
Man, you got them, even though they still are like winning. That
yeah,
division
way
by
better
a
than
ton.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah. How'd you feel about their Brooklyn hats?
Yeah, no, I thought it was cool what MLB did, since that wasn't just like for us, it was for like the Hall of Fame induction weekend. And I'm glad that they're promoting that, and I'm glad that, you know, I'm sure it's just so they can sell more hats and everything with the logo on the side, which, hey, whatever, part of the business. And it was cool that they had the Brooklyn one with the B, especially in Boston, where it's, you know, kind of looks similar. The one, and there was some around the league that annoyed me, where like you have, you know, obviously the cool Marlins throwback hat or like the Rays one, but then the rest of the uniform doesn't match, and it just doesn't look good aesthetically together. And then the one that really pissed me off, and there was a few other teams like this too, where it's the same fucking hat. Like, why are you giving me the same hat? We had different hats. Like, we could have just, like, done so many other things. Like, I was disappointed when it wasn't, like, the dual sock hat that, like, we had in, like, the 2010s that, like, we wore probably during, like, the 2007 season at some point and everything. So you could have done that. You could have gone real, like, weird with it. You could have done the condom sock from the 50s, or like
classic.
Or you could have just like made the B look older, kind of like it was in like the 20s or whatever. So I was very like, I as a big hat guy, obviously, I was very disappointed. It's just the same thing with the logo on the side. So it should have been different for us. Yeah.
They, as many adjustments as they make to the hat, like, it's funny they always keep the baseball cap style because it's a baseball cap, and then they change the image on the front of it, right? Like, they change the B or they change the logo. I think about the scene from 30 Rock where Judah Friedlander is wearing the hat that says horny, and Tina Fey goes, "Go change your hat." So then he comes out with a fedora that says horny.
Yeah.
Why
Great
can't
reference.
they do that? Thank you.
They should do that.
Imagine all the Red Sox players wearing fedoras with a various version of the logo on it.
I don't think there's technically a rule against it. As long as it's like New Era, like 47 brand or whatever, like the
Uh-huh.
official one, as long as they make it, I think that's all that matters.
Would you wear a Red Sox fedora that has the long brim of the baseball cap in the front?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, big hat guy. You said
Big,
that.
big hat guy, especially if it had flaps on the side too.
Are you referencing something?
Yeah, and it came with dice in your pocket.
Well, yeah. You just always
Yeah.
have to have them.
Yeah, you gotta have them.
Yeah, I haven't fought for anything in my entire life.
But I'm fighting for this Red Sox hat.
God, I hope we don't get canceled for making a reference to a TV show.
Oh man,
That
yeah.
would suck. If I may, I would love to skip over the Brian Bayo start. Very uninspiring. We lost 5 innings, 5 Ks, like fine, but so boring.
Yeah, not a lot happened. The bullpen kind of let it go away. The bats really weren't awake too much. Bay was fine too. It's not
Right.
like he put up a stinker or anything either. But it was one of the games of all time, so I don't care.
Absolutely baseball. Well, then we'll go right to the big one, right? Crochet versus Kershaw. Those were $200 tickets, and rightfully so. Crochet has been stellar this year, and Kershaw is a first ballot Hall of Famer definitively. And Crochet kind of beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, I was first of all surprised that this was Clayton Kershaw's first regular season start against the Red Sox.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, like I know we don't face them too often, and especially with like them being West Coast and East Coast, and I know the schedule's more balanced now, and I know we have faced them in the World Series even, but to like be like pretty much like last year of your career, let's say, or like second to last, and you still haven't faced one of the teams is like, I don't know what the chances are of that really. So glad it was at Fenway too. Yeah, so that way, you know, he did do that in the World Series, but like you get it at Fenway. I feel like it would have been a little less cool if it was at Dodger Stadium that he was facing them for the first time. So
He's also had a very long career. I can't believe he's gone this long without pitching against one of the 29 whole baseball
yeah,
teams.
literally, like I mean, he's not going to face the Dodgers unless if he ends up in Texas or some shit. But
Right.
yeah, so, and he's actually still doing decent. It's not like he's like horrible. Like he's like actually pitching for him too. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tanner Houck has had worse starts this year than Kershaw has.
easily, yeah, yeah,
So is Bueller
yep,
a little.
yeah.
He's been good lately. I still have faith in Bueller to be a dude for us. But we'll get there.
Yeah.
As for the Crochet Kershaw start, like Kershaw went 4.2 with 2 Ks and 4 earned runs. Crochet went 6 innings, 2 earned runs, and 10 strikeouts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the 2 earned runs came back to back
Solo
in
bombs,
the first
yeah.
inning.
From 2 home run hitters, Ohtani and Hernandez.
I know, like the one to Ohtani, you're like, it's Ohtani.
Yeah.
And the one to Tio, and obviously he's very good, especially against lefties, but you're like, fucking A. and then Crochet just decided, enough.
Yeah.
Like, he's just like, I'm done. I'm just striking everybody out from here.
Yeah.
And I think he gave up even like 8 hits or whatever.
Exactly
But,
8 hits.
Yeah,
good work.
and only like 2 walks. So
Also
still-
correct.
still very good outing. He's everything that we signed up for. Like he's such a pleasure to watch every time. We didn't even get to really watch the game. We were a little bit of a footy match.
footy on telly.
Yeah.
No, we were there though. in
Yeah,
person.
yeah, and we were literally just both listening to the game on the radio.
I was gonna
yeah.
say, here we were at a soccer game, which was fun. You know, it's always a
Yeah.
great atmosphere. But we each had an AirPod in one ear, listening to Will Fleming on the radio
And Mike Monaco.
and Mike Monaco.
Yeah.
One of my favorite duos. I don't know if I like Will and Mike more than I like Will and Will. It's a toss-up. I think they're a great duo either way.
Yeah, no, Will Fleming works great with everybody. So like it's always a matter of who that second guy is going to be. Even Cooper Boardman from the Woo Sox broadcast is good with them. So that one's always a pleasure to watch. And you know what? I'm glad that we didn't have to sit through John Smoltz complaining about analytics.
John
And-
Smoltz?
Yeah, and Joe Davis, who's the Dodgers regular announcer, like glazing them the whole time. So my dog is just twitching.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. He's
Yeah.
sniffing something in his dreams.
But according to everybody that broadcast was awful, which I'm not surprised about. Even to the point where Garrett Crochet afterwards was just like, yeah, you would have think from watching the highlights afterwards, the Dodgers won.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. But they didn't.
They did not.
They
yeah.
lost. And a pretty good backup crew for Crochet as well. Justin Wilson, who like I somehow have come to have a ton of trust in for being good. And let's not overlook the absolute gem that we got from Whitlock. There was a month during this season that we were scared for him a little bit, but he's back.
Yeah, no, over like the last 2 months now, he's been one of the best pitchers in baseball. In
Yep.
terms of, I was looking today, in terms of F4 for relievers, he's the 15th most productive relief pitcher, and Chapman's like number 4th or something. So when you have two guys that like you can just know that you can depend on every night in the 8th and the 9th, or that they usually flip-flop one way or another, you feel very confident. And you look at that Garrett Whitlock contract now, and it's like, oh, it's only like $6 million or whatever. So you get the full.
I didn't
value
realize
of
it was that cheap.
Yeah, no, like you signed him when he was a little older, just to that extension, so that way you didn't have to pay him a lot every year. Then you know what? It's ended up. It wasn't great the last few years, even though it was like no money, but like now you're seeing the fruits of it.
Yeah, and we got 2 triples from Duran in that game and an RBI from Roman. Just really good show up from the Sox when Crochet needed the run support for once. Red Sox went out and they got it done.
Yeah, and the bullpen, obviously, like we're saying, held on to it too. So very good all-around team win. And that obviously sets you up well for Sunday, trying to, take the rubber match of the series. So I would have felt so much different, I would say, if, like, let's say the starts were flip-flopped, where, like, you had that Crochet Kershaw start on Friday and you won, and then you lost on Saturday. I would have felt worse about going into Sunday than, like, actually winning on Saturday. So, that obviously was a big start, and you weren't sure what you were going to get from either pitcher in it.
Yeah, and we have plenty of trade deadline talk we want to do tonight as well. But obviously we have to talk about today's game. Just really stunning, and I left when it was 3-1, and I came back and I saw we won 4-3. You got to see the rest of that game. We had Buehler and Dustin May on the mound today. Just both not good. Yeah, real pitcher's duel to the 5th inning.
No, Walker, he lived up to his name. I think it was like, 5 walks today?
Yeah, 5 walks.
Just not... he does what he always does. He limits damage.
Yep.
Or I shouldn't say always, because he doesn't always. But he, even when like a lot of the under the hood stuff hasn't been great, a lot of the, not a lot of swing and miss, a lot of walks, few home runs given up, he's still somehow managed, at least. And he's somewhat managed today too. I mean, like, 4 1/3,
4.2, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 walks, and 4 Ks.
Yeah, like, it's not the most competitive, but it gives you a chance to win at least. Like, you have the comeback where you have the Roman Anthony RBI triple, and then this is exactly what you paid Alex Bregman for with that go-ahead home run. So you were hoping that was enough. And you're hoping for some insurance runs, but same thing. Bullpen held it down even, with some guys unavailable. So
yeah, Wilson too was a big part of the bullpen holding it down after I looked it all up.
Yeah, Greg had a good inning too. He gave up a leadoff double and then was just like, oh, never mind.
Sorry, wrong team.
Yeah, and then it was like Mookie, Ohtani, and like Teoscar up, like after he gave up the leadoff double, and he's like,
yep. Yeah. I think you're right about Buehler. Like, it was darkest before the dawn for a second, and he's been more productive lately, but I feel quite often that he finds a way to keep us in it, except for like playing the Angels. Maybe let's not put Buehler out there against the Angels again. But Buehler, especially lately, has found ways to keep us in it. Like 4.2 innings pitched, not fantastic. Like the stat line today was not great, but like got the strikeouts and the ground balls where he needed to get them. Went into the 5th inning with enough of a bullpen that we could keep it together. So like Buehler absolutely kept us in that game.
Yeah, no, he did. And it seemed like Whitlock wasn't available today, which makes sense,
Yep.
especially coming off injury. But obviously, the concerning image was when you had Aroldis Chapman come in and walk the first two guys.
Mhm.
The velocity's down a lot, and then he gets taken out of the game.
Yeah.
So I think everybody was worried a little bit, especially, with the deadline coming up and everything. And he's a guy that I don't want to trade, right now or anything. But, that makes it think, oh, maybe we need to actually go out there and get something. Apparently just some lower back spasms. They don't think it's serious at all. They think he's probably going to avoid the IL. So dodged a bullet with that one. Hopefully we'll see. Glad it's not too serious. And it was a very nerve-wracking situation.
It
when you
was.
had Jordan Hicks come in with two guys on.
After just watching him like walk multiple Phillies people.
He falls behind 3-1 immediately.
Yep.
And then you have that Sadon double play, just line drive right to him, dives on the bag and call overturned and end up getting out of the inning. So
Yeah, thank God.
yeah, that's my second baseman.
Yeah. Let's
he's gonna play so much there, and I hate it.
yeah. But thank God Hicks came in the ninth inning as well.
Yeah, he
shut
came
it
back
down.
for the ninth. Yeah.
Shut it down. You said he went 1.2 and was able to just get it taken care of.
Yeah. And there was a runner there in the ninth where they pinch ran, and it was Ruiz or U.S.
Estuary Ruiz.
Yeah,
speedster.
And so you worry because even a single could tie it up, and just getting the lineup there and holding on to the win felt so big, especially when we've had so many one-run losses this year. To actually start winning some of those,
name 20.
yeah, literally. To actually start winning some of those is feeling good again, because it's not only like this time. We had like some on that 10-game win streak that I was like, okay, like maybe that narrative's starting to die a little bit.
Yep, and then here comes Bregman back from injury, nail in the coffin with the 2-run bomb after Roman, another RBI, playing great, and then
Leading
Bregman
off.
put it away, which I think he should be. I saw that today, and I was like, I think it is really smart to put Duran in the 3 spot, because now he can just run. He
Yeah.
can just fucking run as much as he wants.
And Roman is just such a high on base guy. That's what you want in front of Alex Bregman. You
Yeah.
want a guy on base for Alex Bregman. And you know what? I don't remember the numbers, but Duran has at least hit with some guys and runners in scoring position this year too.
Yeah.
So it's not the best stat in the world, but like you still like it.
Yeah, he looks like his old self.
Yeah,
Starting to come together
just
again.
in time. So
Yeah, just in time. Well, we got about 15 minutes left in our allotted hour, and I say allotted, we make the
Yeah, we
rules.
do whatever we want. There's no
Yeah.
laws on this. Yeah.
I am so excited to talk about trade deadline stuff, potential trades, what we're looking at. We might go a few minutes over, so if you're our listeners, we might go a few minutes over. Thank you, the Believe Network. Like, comment, subscribe, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Is there any reason to believe that the outfield trade does not include Duran or Abreu?
I mean, at this point, it sounds like they're very content with playing Sadon at second and keeping the dude. So I would, if you told me a week ago, like, what the situation might be, and obviously Meyer changes a lot of that, I would have been surprised if we held on to everybody. But now I'd say, honestly, I'd be more surprised that if we did trade a guy. And that's fine if you want to solve that outfield issue in the offseason too. You can just, juggle and rotate. It's not ideal, but you still are able to do it. And, you still have prospects that you can trade if there's a guy that you want to go out there and get. So I think a lot of these times the problems end up solving themselves. And we'll see what ends up happening. But I think if something was going to happen with one of our outfielders, we would have tried to get that out of the way a little bit first, so that way all the other pieces could fall in before Thursday, since you only have 3.5 days now to get something done. It's really it's approaching fast, and we haven't done anything yet, so we'll see.
Yeah, I would definitely like something to happen, but as of right now, I'm not incredibly pressed to make moves. I would love a starting pitcher, but
I think that's the one you gotta do.
yeah, I think you are paying more of a premium for a starting pitcher at the trade deadline than you would in the offseason. And I also, as much as I'd love to get a starting pitcher, like this team is playing well. Like I can't give up. I can't give up a guy like Duran if he's playing this way for someone like Luis Severino. Like, wouldn't do that. I'm only giving up guys like Duran and Abreu for guys like Joe Ryan, as an example. Merrill Kelly out in Arizona.
He's a rental, so I'm not giving up any.
Yeah, like he's a guy on my trade radar. But
it sounds like we're not going after the rentals too much either.
No, there are a few rentals I'd have interest in, but not as starting pitchers and not for guys like Duran.
And this team's good, but it's not like 2018 where like you just need Steve Pearce or Nate Eovaldi to like fill in those like last few gaps. Like, if you are gonna trade some of your prospects or like at least some of the actual name prospects, at least have it be for a guy that would be like under control for at least the following season.
You want at least 2 years out of whoever you get.
Exactly. Like he just hit the injured list today, but like a guy like Bubic, I would have really liked, because even you have the one more year, or you have like Edward Cabrera, who's taking a lot of steps forward and looking really good. It's not a reclamation project or another one of those like Kyle Harrison's where you're hoping that you can like tweak a few things. This is a guy that can pitch well for you now and for the next few years. Obviously gonna cost you a pretty penny. We could have just had him for Justin Turner a few years back, but nope. But I think we do end up going home with somebody in terms of a starting pitcher. I don't think it's gonna probably be Joe Ryan unless like we really put on our big boy pants and get it done. I think that's something that could more likely happen in the offseason when you have more time to talk about it and move a guy like Duran and another or whoever in another trade.
Right.
So I would be surprised if it's something like that. But like I think there is, a lot of potential for us to improve. And, even between like Fitz and Walker and whoever, you can never have too much pitching. Patrick Sandoval's dead.
Yeah.
Like he's not coming back this year. Big shocker. So I think
I
you
found
need
a fork in the kitchen the other day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Saw
right.
Biden in DC.
Yeah. But I mean, you bring up a good point about like this team's need for starting pitching. I kind of want to look at this in two ways. The first of which is, do you think 3.5 days from now or 3 days from now, whenever you're listening to the podcast, that Walker Buehler is still on this team?
I think he is, because you could just option down Fitz. He's forcing your hand a little bit less right now.
Yep.
So I think in terms of a spot, you do want to have that depth since obviously Dobbins is out now and you traded Quinn Priester and
who has been great in Milwaukee.
Yeah, and Kyle Harrison has not been what you hope for so far. He had like 6 walks today, so I don't think they want to like rush him either. I think they're still refining a lot of things. I'm not worried about the stats because you are tinkering, but I don't think right now is the time to call him up. So if you're able to get another pitcher, have Fitz be just available down in Worcester for whenever you need him. Obviously you want that depth, and if you just got rid of Walker, then and somebody else goes down, then you're kind of a little bit more screwed.
Yeah,
so
right.
Even when Walker was struggling, I said put him in the pen. Yeah, and I think that was viable when you had Hunter Dobbins and you had Dick Fitz coming back and everything.
Right.
But now that things change, and that's why I think. Like I was talking about with Duran earlier, in the outfield situation, sometimes these things end up just solving themselves. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think Buehler's still with us in the next few days. I was also thinking earlier, like, the only reason any of our major league talent would be available on the trade market is if it is for acquiring other major league talent.
Yeah, like I could see it with the Phillies. They have the Reds. They have so many good young pitchers. They need an outfielder. I could see something like that, but we're not trading any of our dudes for prospects. The system's loaded. There's not a lot of areas of really need that you need down there other than maybe catcher. So I would be disappointed if we ended up selling guys for prospects or whatever.
Yeah. I'm not crazy about it. But On the other side of starting pitching, here's a question for you in all of baseball. Do you believe that Mackenzie Gore is truly available or not?
No, I don't think he's truly available. I think, if you are trading for him, it's almost going to be like a Juan Soto trade since they have all the years of control. He's so good. So I don't think anybody actually fits like what they're looking for, or like, what the actual like trade might be. So and I don't think they do it with an interim GM either. I think when you fired Davey Martinez and whoever their GM was.
Yeah, Davey Martinez too.
Yeah, Davey Martinez too. Yeah, blanket Mike Rizzo. When you fired him, you're kind of just more focusing on 26 and beyond, and I don't think doing something right there. And I think Mackenzie Gore does factor into that, along with Abrams and Woods, and they still have a lot of other areas of needs, but I don't think they end up trading Gore.
I don't think so either. I think if anyone could afford him, the Red Sox could afford him.
Yeah, they could. Yeah,
but I think Gore stays in DC.
Yeah, that would be one where like you would have to trade Meyer for him.
Yeah, but to be fair, there are a lot of things I would throw at a guy like Mackenzie Gore. A lot.
Yeah, no, that one would be like through the roof great. So
yeah, but you had mentioned like maybe looking for a catcher. Red Sox are connected to a catcher. We're connected to the Dodgers and Dalton Rushing. What do you think?
I'm not sure it's quite the best trade partner because they're also looking for major league stuff back. So I think the cost of getting a top 100 prospect catcher that's major league ready now is going to cost you a lot, and they would also need a catcher back, and I'm not sure they're too wild about Connor Wong. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah,
they didn't say no takesies back.
They seemed very okay with being able to trade him for Mookie Betts, understandably.
Yeah, well, Connor Wong was valuable for a minute.
Yeah,
now he is not.
But they knew they had so many other catchers in the system that they could let him go, and it was fine. So do I think it's going to end up being someone crazy like, Dalton Rushing, or some people think Adley Rutschman might be available? It's not going to be someone like that.
Right.
But, and, with Connor Wong, too, I have seen him working well with Bayo and everything, so you can just option him, too. So there is that.
Yeah. Wong is Bayo's emotional support catcher.
Yeah, pretty much at this point. So I wouldn't be surprised if it is Wong at the end of the day, but I think they still do need to get somebody else to kind of fill in that Carlos Narvaez workload. So we'll see who it ends up being. It could just be like literally another warm body, though.
Yeah,
like
Cal Raleigh.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, Cal Raleigh. Yeah, just trade for him.
Yeah. So there are a few teams we are definitely connected to. The Padres, for one, and we got some examples of what a Padres Duran trade would look like, which I wasn't crazy about, tell you the truth. We've also been connected to the Dodgers and definitely the Twins, and I believe the Cardinals as well. And then a few maybes. The ones I have for our maybes are Rangers, Nationals, Diamondbacks, Pirates, Royals, Rays, Reds, Orioles, Angels, and Marlins. If we feel pressed to make a move, one, how likely is a trade? And two, of the teams that we're in contact with, or maybe we are in contact with, who do you think we're shaking hands with to get something back?
Yeah, so apart from a pitcher, I think, obviously we're looking for a first baseman. And I think ideally they would like to get somebody beyond, this year too, since I think they do have actual concerns about Tristan Casas' health as well, which also pretty fair at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
Injury history.
Yeah. So I think if there's a guy that's available out there, you got to do everything you can to trade for him. And it's Yandy Diaz from the Rays.
Okay, that's a take.
I mean, he's under team control for not only next year, but as a team option after that. So you could have a potential like 2.5 years of control. He mashes at Fenway. I think he would fit in well and lets it move Romy around a lot. To a lot of other spaces in the infield where you have Yandy Diaz who can play there every day. It's not like a platoon bat like you might get with like even Ryan O'Hearn or like someone like that where you're not starting him against like lefties. You are starting Yandy Diaz every day. You know he's a guy that's gonna not cost you a lot either, like 10 million or 12 million, and then you also are able to kind of have that insurance for the next few years. So we'll see if they actually are selling or if they'll trade in division. But that one, like, I think just how deep it would make the lineup, and how well he would play at Fenway, kind of like Bregman, or like we knew that like swing was perfect for it. So I think that one would be phenomenal. That would be like my A+ like option if you got it done.
Your A+ trade deadline would be Yandy Diaz.
Yandy Diaz
Love it.
and like Edward Cabrera.
Yeah.
If like you could somehow like manage both of those, and then who knows, maybe you get a backup catcher. I'm gonna be doing backflips on the episode on Thursday.
Yeah, I think you get an S, which is above A+, if you are able to get Dalton Rushing. I think if you get a guy like Yandy Diaz and Edward Cabrera, if you come home with those three guys at the trade deadline, that's an S. That's an S trade deadline.
Or even like some of them, and then you get other pieces here and there too. So I am excited. I do think we had. I'm not trying to get my hopes up of like having all of those things happen, but I think if one or two of them do happen, then like this team's actually going to be competitive and has a chance to even still win the East.
Yeah, I think the Red Sox are a competitive team right now. Let's hope they stay that way.
Yankees are going to die. So
yeah, they're already dead. They lost 60% of their outfield in offense. Yeah, and one IL trip. It's interesting you brought up first baseman. Some of the notes I had taken about, like, what do I think the Red Sox truly need? Starting pitching, definitely, and what else? I had written down, one, a second catcher is definitely something we can look at. Guys like Vasquez and Rushing are probably available enough. A rental first baseman. So would love a guy that you get for a year and a half, but if you get a really good first baseman for the next 60 days, I would be happy with that too. Sorry, Abraham Toro's career, but Yandy Diaz would be a great fit for that. I don't think Rowdy Tellez has the same stuff, but you know what I mean? Just like a big hulking first baseman that hits a lot, and I'm willing to pay for 60 days of that to get us to the postseason.
Yeah.
And
it wouldn't cost us a crazy amount either. I think that's the other thing.
Wouldn't.
We have the prospect capital to not lose any sleep over like a rental like that.
Yeah. The other one I have is a rental second baseman. I'm not sure how many fantastic second basemen are available, but if you get a strong 60 days of second base out of a good second baseman, and for crying out loud, for 60 fucking days, close the revolving door that we have at second base, I would be psyched about pulling an above average second baseman that we can play there every day for 60 days.
Yeah, I think a guy that fits that, and I was thinking this too, was like Isaiah Connor-Falefa. Like, he's on a bad team. Yeah, IKF. He's on a bad team. He's going to get traded. I believe he's a free agent at the end of the year too. And even if he's not, you can just use him as a utility guy for next season or flip him in the offseason. So I think a guy like that would not be like the most pressing need, but I wouldn't want that revolving door either. I think he's a guy where he helps you defensively in multiple positions too. If you do need to give, Bregman a day off or Story a day off, he's a guy that you can actually count on at shortstop or third base. So I think that would actually be a pretty good fit. I'm sure his, services are going to be, wanted in a ton of other places too. So I think we actually get him? No, but we'll see what ends up happening. But honestly, I think at second base, I think we should just give Vaughn Grissom a chance at this point.
Oh, interesting.
I don't. It would annoy me if we just had him down in Worcester and burning up a 40-man roster spot all season. I think he's hitting the ball well right now. He's maybe ride the hot hand. I know it's not going to be great defensively, but. I think also David Hamilton needs everyday at bats, which he's not going to get in Boston, even with the revolving door there. So, I think if there was a time, it would be right now, and we'll see what happens by the end of the week too. But I'm fine with keeping Christian Campbell down there to like fine tune a few more things and learn first base and still play a little second too. So, I think between some of those guys, we'll figure it out at the end of the day, and hopefully Meyer's back eventually too.
Yeah, I would love to see Meyer back soon. I don't have a game for you tonight. I'm going to substitute it with 2 questions. The first being the Padres offer for Jarren Duran. What did you think of that?
It's been refuted and then unrefuted and blah blah blah. So who actually knows at the end of the day?
Sure.
So for the people that don't know, it was Duran for Cease and
Salas,
Ethan Salas and whatever.
Scoobert Due.
Yeah,
right.
Scoobert Due. Yeah.
Yep.
And if they did turn it down, I think I can understand because there is a lot of concerns about Salas's bat since he is young. He's 19 in AA or whatever, and it's not going great, and the glove's still really good, and he still is a top 100 prospect. But if the Red Sox don't believe in him to be the everyday catcher, long term, then it's not worth it.
Yeah.
And so even with getting back a pretty good pitcher in Dylan Cease and having to be a rental, as a rental too, versus 3.5 years of Duran. I would rather have something that's a little bit more long-term and stable. So
yeah, I'm not blown away by the offer. Granted, I like Dylan Cease. Has not been his best year. I like the idea of Ethan Salas, but not enough. I was not blown away. Those are definitely the names you're looking at for the Padres, but I'm just not blown away enough that I'm giving up Duran for that.
Yeah, I'm not sure the Padres necessarily have what we're looking for, so we'll see what
talent.
Yeah.
Fuck the Padres. Fuck the Padres. So then my second and final question for you as we close out our episode tonight. Again, thank you, Believe Network. Like, comment, subscribe. Also, your dog is snoozling so good right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He's so
twitching.
good.
I know.
Yeah.
I didn't even drug him tonight.
What do you think he's smelling?
Cheese.
Cheese.
Chicken.
How likely... I had asked how likely is a trade, and how likely do you think is a blockbuster trade at this point in the season for the Red Sox?
I mean, the stove is looking pretty hot right now.
Yep.
You're getting the chestnuts roasting on there.
Oh,
yeah.
Chestnuts roasting.
Yeah, don't sing anymore. We're gonna get sued.
Sorry.
Even though that's public domain, probably.
Yeah. We should change it to our title opening song.
Yeah. So, I guess it depends on what you say blockbuster, since I don't think it's going to be, one of, Peyton Tolley or Christian Campbell getting traded for, Joe Ryan or something. But I think we will have some very substantial moves, real prospects being traded and, actual improvements to this team. So in terms of, a blockbuster, it's not going to be, the Juan Soto trade or anything like that.
No.
I think there will be a very impactful and rememberable trade, which we haven't had, at the deadline in a while.
Yeah, no, that's kind of why I'm wondering about it, because we could definitely go out and get a guy again, because we've been connected, Dalton Rushing, which would be a great guy to get, but it's not a blockbuster in the way that you're going out and you are getting Joe Ryan or Zach Gallen or something like that. Gallen's a rental, so maybe that's different. But you're not getting your second catcher. You're not getting a backup first baseman. You're going out and you're acquiring talent for this team that is going to net you talent for years to come. Maybe Sean Murphy would be a decent blockbuster.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So I guess the idea is how likely is a trade for a dude that we see in Boston long term.
You know what? I'm gonna go pretty high here. I'm gonna say 75%.
You think good chance of a blockbuster?
I think there is a good chance that we end up having at least one dude, whether it's a first baseman or a starting pitcher, that we're wow, this was a really good move. He obviously had to give up a lot to do it, but I think Craig has a trick or two up his sleeve, and he has shown that he is willing to make trades, which Heim was a little bit more reserved about. So
yep.
The Crochet trade has obviously worked out great in terms of what we gave up versus what we got. So I think he's inclined to do so. I think ownership is telling him do fucking something.
Win, yeah.
We don't want to see Dodgers fans in Vader Stadium. We do want it to be Red Sox fans. So I think the way that you do it, you get the butts in the seats, you get those dollars back. Not at the concession stands, but yeah.
Yes, strikes going on.
Yeah,
Don't buy hot
support
dogs.
the strikes. Yeah, don't
Bring
buy
your spaghetti.
Yeah, don't be a fucking scab.
Yeah,
burn
well-
your spaghetti.
Well, we're thinking of doing a trade deadline episode this week, but I mean, for now, decent week of baseball.
Yeah.
And pleasure as always.
I think by the time we come back on Thursday or whenever we end up recording, we have some news. It's gonna be a
I
happy
fucking hope
episode,
so.
yeah. And hopefully, we're facing the Twins too, and they're really floundering. So hopefully, get some wins this week.
Yeah, would love that.
Okay.
No, I love you. Okay, love you. Bye. No, I love you.
Yeah.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay,
No, I love you.
Trade for Joe Ryan.